Hello, everyone, and welcome to How to Bet or howtobet.com podcast. Go to howtobet.com. Get there early and often. You on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, like button, notification bell. Hey, leave comments, ask for merch. We'll get you merch, whatever you need. And, of course, we are running down the brackets for the college basketball. It's been I guess, somewhat as expected.
Just shake your head. There's nothing. It's chaos.
You get your upsets. You get your no bigger upset this year than number 2 St. Peter's beating Kentucky. Nobody had that. If you said you did, you lied, or you just flip the coin for each one.
ESPN said last night there's 17.5 million brackets filled out, and after the first round, only 2 were left that had a perfect bracket, and those 2 people had to be either St. Peter's players or St. Peter's alumni.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
It's not even that. Like Iowa lost, and a
lot of people have one thing for sure. If you haven't learned your lesson by now, and I got sucked in again, you can never take a 5 seed in this tournament. I mean, if you bet, you can take them, but if you bet on a 5 seed in this tournament, you're crazy. You're gonna get beat because it just happens year after year after year. The 12 seed beats the 5.
Mexico State.
Yeah, it was unpredictable. I struggled a little bit. I'll be honest with you. I had some good winners. I had some teams that were solid that I really liked that won. Tennessee being one of them. But it's not easy. It was not easy for the brackets. Nobody's brackets are clean. That's for sure. And as far as betting goes, it just was not. It was not stellar. That's putting it mildly. But you have to go with the teams. These big spreads in the first round. Some hung in. Like if you had Duke, barely lost out on that. Arizona didn't cover. Gonzaga did. Baylor did. So it's hard. It's hard. I never shy away from those 116s, 215s usually, especially the 116s. But it was not easy.
I had a pretty good bet boost on FanDuel. It was Arizona and Duke to win by 15 or 15 plus. So
that that was good. I saw that too.
Yeah. Paid about 3 plus 350. So that was pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's tough to bet the first round and maybe even this round. But once you start getting down to these, these teams, the better teams, I think it's a little bit.
I think it becomes a little easier
to handicap.
Yeah, I think it's a little easier to handicap here.
I equate this to like that. The week like 9, 10, 11 of the NFL where it's just, you're in the middle of this, you're still not sure. But like once you kind of cleared that out and then like, down the stretch, you knew who the good teams were. It was a little easier to pick. Like I think after this round, even this round, there's some games where you could look at and you're like, all right, I'm going to hone in on this game. I think the line is pretty good here.
Yeah, I think it gets a little easier. We're going to break it down for you now. But it's certainly challenging, but also very entertaining every year. And this year was no different. So remember to go to howtobet.com. Again, hit the subscribe button, like button, notification bell. Go down. You're going to go to howtobet.com. You're going to see special offers from sports books around the country, including, there's a good one right there. You see scrolling underneath, 2,000 points bet promo. First bets risk-free up to $2,000. Earn up to 100 in free bets. So don't miss out on that. That is an outstanding offer. And we have various sports books around the country, but that is certainly a great one to look at, but you have to get it at howtobet.com. All right, let's go run down today's games. They will kick off in about 3 hours. And East Coast time, it'll be 12:15, 12:10, 12:15. So here we go. North Carolina, Baylor. North Carolina, that's your boys. That's your boys, genius.
Biggest 8-9 win in the history of the tournament.
They spanked Marquette. It was a Marquette team that was certainly struggling, but
over at halftime.
Yeah, it was 30 at half. Yeah, I might lose my face here for a second because I'm gonna have to make an adjustment. But there you go. But yes, so the UNC Tar Heels, your Tar Heels, really did a number on Marquette. Baylor, they look fine. I mean, I know they're beating up. They without a couple players, but they look good. I know that they didn't get much of a challenge, but the line now is 5.5. Baylor a 5.5 point favorite in this one. Genius, since they're your boys, heart, you're betting with your heart, your head, or both?
Oh, I think I'm going to do both here. Look, when you look at this game, I think both teams, North Carolina, I would be a little nervous about on the second day. They're not real deep. They don't play a lot of players. Their starting five is really good, obviously, the other night. And so is Baylor's, but, Baylor has some injuries. So both teams are really kind of in the same spot where they're only probably playing about 7 guys. So now maybe, if North Carolina was facing a team that was a little deeper, I would be a little more worried here. I know obviously Baylor is very good and they're defending champions. Like if North Carolina was facing Kansas or one of these other deeper teams, I would probably say, you know what, I think we might be in a little bit of trouble. I think North Carolina here can match up with Baylor. Obviously, Baycott is a beast. Caleb Love, all these guys. I just think, 5.5 is too many points. I think it's going to be a close game. So, I would say take North Carolina on the points, but obviously I have them to win the East. So I'm going to take a shot on them at plus 198, plus 2. It's almost plus 200 now. And remember, these teams preseason about the same in the rankings, obviously, and you're getting 2-to-1 odds on a team that is pretty good. I mean, the 24-9 here, 25-9, and that advantage that a team might have against them is basically nullified. So I'm going to take a chance on North Carolina here.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to take the points. I'm going to take the 5.5 points, and certainly wouldn't be surprised if they won the game outright. So I don't think a money line bet is out of line here. So yeah, I agree with you there.
The other thing too, the North Carolina total points is at 71.5, and everybody kind of points to, hey, Baylor only gives up 49 points a game. Well, yeah, but that was like the first 2 months of the season when they had the big guy and some of these other defenders, and they're playing really well. Well, those guys aren't in the lineup right now, so it's a different team. Baylor hasn't been that team for about a month. So
yeah. No, I agree. They're banged up without some key components here.
Yeah, and I think when you look at the points, North Carolina, I don't know. I mean, I would take, even if they lose this game, I would think they're going to score and they're going to press the pace. So, I think maybe 71.5 is a little low for this game. Obviously, Baylor total points is 77.5. So really, the adjusted line should be about 6. So, I just like North Carolina in this game, and I think you could maybe even cover yourself there if you don't think North Carolina is going to win. Maybe they cover, but take the total points over 71.5. There's different ways to bet this game that I think you could make some money.
All right, next game on the slate will be in the Midwest region, Creighton and Kansas. Creighton, that's a gutsy win. They beat me. I needed San Diego State in that game. They beat me, but it was a gutsy win, scoring the last 9 in regulation, last 6 in overtime. They had no business winning that game. They did. Give them credit, but now they're up against a number 1 seed, Kansas, who a lot of people were down on as a number 1 seed, but they look pretty darn strong. They're 12-point favorite here. I don't like this. And Creighton lost their big guy late in the game. I don't like this for Creighton today. I see a blowout here.
Yes, I see a blowout. I think there's the same thing a couple of ways. I mean, over under here for Kansas total points is 76.5. I think, without the big guy, Kansas is basically going to do what they want. Sometimes, in the first round games, you can see some of these teams maybe easing up a little bit because they got a game in 48 hours. Well, here there's the next game isn't until Thursday or Friday. So I don't think you're going to see that. I think you're going to see Kansas just pile it on here.
Neri, you think Creighton has a chance here?
No, I mean we when we were previewing, the first round, they're not. I'm not very high on them at all. In Kansas, I think this is gonna be a cakewalk for them. I think.
Yeah, I agree. Next game out of the South, we're running it down, for your betting purposes on the timelines here. Michigan and Tennessee. This game in the South region, Tennessee a 6.5 point favorite. It's one of the teams that I liked the whole way, and they were very impressive. They can shoot it. They're physical. They're quick. Michigan, hey, they did what they did what they had to do against a really bad Colorado State. I mean that they were horrible. The whole Mountain West was horrible. 0-4 for the Mountain West. They're terrible. I think that hurts their future at large bids. But Michigan, 6.5 point dog in this one. I can't go with Michigan. Tennessee was too impressive. I'm going to go with Tennessee. I'll lay into 6.5 in this.
Yeah, I like Tennessee. I like Tennessee total points over 71.5 as well. I think once again, those are some of the bets where I think in some of these games you could make a little money if you don't like the line, if the line is too high. If you think, the Kansas one, oh man, I don't want to lay 12 points. I don't want to lay 12.5 points. All right. Well, if you think they're going to score a lot of points and maybe Creighton keeps it close, you can do something like that. Like here, I don't think Michigan's going to be able to score against Tennessee. Tennessee's defense is pretty good. This Tennessee team is one of the teams I think now can make a deep run. And obviously SEC champion. SEC's been the best league all year. So I'm down on the Big Ten. Obviously, really, some of the teams that got through struggled yesterday. So I don't see anything other than a Tennessee win, maybe by 10 points here.
All right, so let's go back to the Midwest. Richmond, a win over Iowa, an upset victory. Iowa was not good. Again, I've been saying it to people a long time. You win, it's cliche, but you live by the three, you die by the three. They died by the three. They were terrible. Iowa could not shoot the basketball. So Richmond, give them credit, good job. Now they are a 3-point dog against a Providence team that a lot of people like. South Dakota Jackrabbits coming in. Providence proved them wrong. They played with a little chip on their shoulder. It got close, started getting a little close, but they played with a little chip on their shoulder, they were almost an underdog in people's minds in this one, in the game against South Dakota State. This is a tough one, Sean. I can see Richmond winning this game. It's a game I would stay away from because I just can't figure this one out. I could certainly see Providence playing again with that chip on their shoulder. They are the Big East regular season champions, not getting a lot of respect. I'm going to stay away. I'm going to stay away from this one.
I think I like Providence in this game. It's one of my probably better plays today. I just think that they're ready to make a little bit of a deep run again. One of these teams, like you said, I think after Iowa lost and they get Richmond here, I think they have a chance here to get through this game. I didn't think they matched up well with Iowa, but Iowa's out. So it's probably going to be a lower scoring game. Some of these other games might be a little bit higher scoring. I think, that over under here is 134. I mean, team totals are both in the 60s, 68.5 and 65.5. I think Providence gets it done. And I think Providence could give Kansas some issues next week.
Interesting. Neri, you have an opinion on this one?
Yeah, I also like Providence in this one. I'm going to stay away just because it's a little too close for my taste. I just think Richmond gave a lot in their game versus Davidson, so I give Providence the advantage in this one.
All right, let's go to the East. Our first or our second East region game, and this is a good one. St. Mary's, who played very well, better than I thought they were going to play in that game. St. Mary's and UCLA, who were less than impressive in their win over Akron. UCLA, a 3-point favorite in this one. I can't take the Bruins the way they've been playing. They didn't play well in that Pac-12 championship. They played a pretty good first half of the game. They didn't play well. I don't love them, and they're one of the teams that in my bracket I had making a long run. I don't love them anymore. I could see St. Mary's again. This is a game that I don't love because I can't figure it out, but I could certainly see St. Mary. I think there's some value on the money line with St. Mary's at +3.
Yeah, this game scares me a little bit. Obviously, I have UCLA going to the Sweet 16 in my brackets. The St. Mary's team, they obviously, had lost a bunch of games this year to Gonzaga, but
yeah.
Outside of that, they don't have a lot of losses. So
they beat San Francisco. Yeah, I mean, they're a good team. They're a good team. They're well coached. Neri.
Yeah, I like UCLA in this matchup. St. Mary's has been impressive though, even though we're only just one round in.
Yeah,
I do. I like UCLA in this game.
Okay, I really don't have a strong opinion.
I just think they're a better team. Obviously, Final Four team last year, and sometimes with these teams, they struggle in that first round, but they get through, and then they're kind of like, all right, the pressure's off now. Now you can play a little bit. But I think it's going to be a really good game.
Yeah, Juzang's struggling. They don't look crisp to me. So if I had to bet the game, I think I would go the other way. I'd go St. Mary's. All right, next game also in the East, St. Peter's, the Peacocks. Everybody Cinderella now, a 15 seed beating Calipari and Kentucky. What a game! What a Shaheen Holloway's team was ready to go out of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. March Madness. So yeah, it's a team I'm very familiar with. They played well. It's a team that they have time at times struggle scoring. They didn't. They had their way with Kentucky. They're a very good defensive team, well coached by Shaheen Holloway. They are now a 9-point dog against the Murray State Racers, a Murray State team that, listen, they played a good San Francisco team. That was nip and tuck for quite some time in that game.
Both the late games went to overtime. I mean, I'm sure the CBS and the some of the bracket. I mean, I think they're pretty happy about that. I mean, getting all those ads in for another hour there. So
yeah, I mean, I had Murray State, so I was happy. In the end, but that was a struggle.
Yeah, look,
I guess the question is, can the Peacocks pull off another upset and move on? That's question number one. Question number two is, hey, they don't have to win the game if you're betting it. They just need to stay within the 9. Either way, do you see one happening, 2 happening, or both happening?
I don't think they beat Murray State. I actually now, with the way this bracket is set up, Murray State could really cause some damage and go deep.
Yeah. In my bracket, I had Murray State beating Kentucky. It won't matter because the rest of my bracket's crap. Neri, you have an opinion?
Yeah, listen, St. Peter's just taking down Kentucky. I think they still got the momentum. I like them against Murray State in this one.
All right, interesting. Any chance they spring the upset and win it outright? Or you?
I think they pulled off versus Murray State, but it's going to be tough to take down a Purdue or Texas. So,
all right.
But I like them in this round.
I think when you look at this, the maybe the best bet is Murray State total points 69.5. This team scores.
Yeah, St. Peter's though is a good defensive team. I mean, that's what they do. So
yeah,
that'll be interesting.
I mean, do you see what Murray State has done this year?
Yes,
I mean, they've thrown up 100 points like 5 times. It's crazy with some of the scores they have.
Big time scoring team for sure.
Yeah, they score a lot of points. That's the only thing I think. I think sometimes Murray State thought they would be here. Obviously,
yes.
St. Peter's didn't. Obviously, in their mind, hey, we can hang with them or whatever.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
But I think now Murray State now has a chance. They're like, listen, we thought we were going to be here. We thought we could go deep. St. Peter. So now that mentality has to change. But I just think Murray State's going to be able to score against whoever. So I will take Murray State. If I had to bet it, I think maybe try to bet it down. But the line's just only going one way. So people are hammering Murray State here. I think maybe the better way to go would be the team total.
All right. Now, out west, New Mexico State, an upset winner over UConn, another one of those 12 seeds. They will take on Arkansas. Arkansas, one of those teams that it's actually hard to figure them out. They're a 6.5-point favorite. I kind of like New Mexico State in this one. I don't love the game, but I think I might put a couple bucks on New Mexico State just for the heck of it.
Yeah, this is a tough game. Obviously they can score, they have a big time score,
and they're confident. They they weren't swayed at all by UConn. They were confident throughout that whole game.
Yeah, no, there's usually one of these 12 seeds gets to Arkansas is really good though. I think the points are a little bit high. I think it might be a little bit closer game than 6.5. Probably leaning towards New Mexico State here. If you're going to take New Mexico State plus 6.5, maybe you take a shot on the money line at plus 230. But this is a really, really tough game to call.
Now, to wrap up today's action, it will be Memphis and Gonzaga. This is interesting. Gonzaga, a 10-point favorite over the Memphis, Hardaway's Memphis club. Listen, Memphis, they big first half. They struggled in the second half against Boise. They did pull it out. They covered 10 points against a Gonzaga team that really walked through the first half of their game. And then they also, that was one of the worst bad beats in a long time for me. So I had Gonzaga.
I had 21.5, right? And they won by 21.
They were up by 6 with seconds left. I had over. I had a parlay of over and Gonzaga. The over was easy. It was a horrible bad beat in that game. Folks that had Gonzaga know exactly what I'm talking about. So anyway, they're a 10-point favorite in this one. Is that too many points to give a very athletic Memphis team?
Nah, I think Gonzaga is going to, I think 21 would be too many. I don't know. They're a machine. Timmy that kid Holmgren is
Holmgren's tough. They have a good. Listen,
that's
why they're number one.
I don't think they're going to be. I don't think this game is close. I think 10 is actually a decent number. It's actually come down a little bit, so people are betting Memphis. I'll take. Over under is 155, which is absolutely ridiculous. Gonzaga total points 82.5. I like that over. I don't think Memphis can stay with them. You saw, it was a 2-point game at halftime, and then Gonzaga just said, all right, we'll start playing now. I don't see anybody playing with them. I don't see Memphis playing with them in this game. I think maybe 15 points.
Neri, what do you think?
Yeah, just like Sean said, they decided to just kind of turn it on. I think on paper, this is a matchup people wanted to see, but I can't see Gonzaga keeping this one close, though. I think they're going to pour it on.
Yeah, I think Gonzaga can have their way here. I don't think it's going to be much more than that 10, but I can't take Memphis here. I'm going to take Gonzaga in this one. I might even go over. I know it's a high total, 155. I might go over. I think that Gonzaga scores 85 to 90 points here, so I would go over in this one. All right, so that's our Saturday slate. Let's head off to Sunday tomorrow. Tomorrow's games. We'll start off in the South. The Houston Cougars continue to do what they have to. They're a very good defensive team. They score enough. They're going against Illinois. 4.5-point favorite are the Cougars. Listen, they've been playing well. Nobody seems to love them, but they've been playing well. An Illinois team that they did not cover against Chattanooga.
Not cover.
They almost got beat.
So that was a little crazy.
However, say what you will. We hammered the Big Ten how bad they are, but they've, other than Iowa, right? They've advanced. So they're having a good first round of the tournament, something that they don't always do. Illinois, a little, they're getting hammered a little bit by the public. 4.5. Is this line too low? The way you saw Illinois, although Chattanooga is a good team. The way you saw Illinois play almost didn't win the game. Is this too low? 4.5.
I think so. I mean, I don't know. I think maybe people are just on Illinois instead of Houston because maybe Houston plays for a small, in a smaller conference. This Houston team is very good. I just,
They remember their Final Four team a year ago.
Yeah, and they play defense. When you watch Illinois struggle the other night to score, I mean, he's only scored 54 points. I don't know how they hang with him here. I love Houston in this game. I think this line is way too low. If they're going to give me that, I'll take it.
I'm taking Houston in this one too. Neri, any opinion?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Houston as well. I just think Illinois had they played too close of a game with Chattanooga. I think versus Houston, it's gonna be a lot tougher. You're gonna need a lot more than that.
All right, so let's move on to the South region and take a look at Ohio State and Villanova. It's a Villanova team that hammered Delaware as expected. It's an Ohio State team that covered against Loyola of Chicago, of Illinois, Chicago. 54-41. It was the worst performance I can ever remember from a team outside of a 16 seed against is the worst performance I can ever remember from a team. Loyola was horrible. I mean, 41 points. They couldn't make a layup. They couldn't make a shot. They tried to go inside. First-year coach, he's replacing Moser. Valentine's replacing Moser. He's 30 years old. He did not have the same game plan. Moser would have had. Look, Ohio State was terrible too. They scored 54 points against a team that played the worst game you could play. I mean, they were terrible. 54-41. Villanova's a 5-point favorite here. I love Villanova in this game. Now, there is a matchup problem. There is one matchup problem with Liddell. There is a matchup problem there inside. Villanova doesn't have that great inside presence. I still love Villanova in this game.
I don't know.
Based on what I saw, Ohio State was terrible.
Yeah, no.
Yes, they won, but again, they beat a team that played the worst tournament game I can ever remember.
Jay Wright always has these teams. I mean, I forget what the stat was. They have the most since 2016. I think that's the 8th 20-point win or more in the tournament. So,
Yeah, everybody thinks he's a nice guy, and he is, but he does not let up. He's going to beat you by as many points as he can beat you.
I have no idea where to go in this game. I mean, I think Villanova, just because of Ohio State, but Villanova's had some bad performances.
I'm telling you, I love Villanova in this game. Love them.
Yeah, I like Villanova here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Nova by default. We've been kind of knocking the Big Ten, but just I don't know if I buy Ohio State. I'm gonna go Nova by default in this one.
All right. Western region. This one's the one that's going to be talked about. Davidson, they got screwed. So they Michigan State wins over Davidson. Davidson really should have won that ball game. Duke -7. Coach K, Tom Izzo. It'll be all the talk. That'll be all the talk. But Duke is a 7-point favorite against a Michigan State team that, quite frankly, is not one of his better teams. I'm not afraid to give the 7 here. I think Duke's in a little bit of a mission, even though they played an ACC conference that wasn't great this year. I didn't love Duke coming into the tournament, but I think they're on a little bit of a mission.
Yeah, I like Duke here. Hard to say that, but I like the over as well. 75.5. I think they score here. Michigan State, I don't think they're that good. And, Duke gets through and sets up possibly a huge game in the Sweet 16 with Texas Tech.
Yeah, Texas Tech, a very impressive Texas Tech team. We'll get to them in a minute. Neri, you think the Blue Devils cruise here?
I don't know if they'll cruise, but I definitely got them in this one. I like their chances versus Michigan State.
All right, now back to the Midwest. Iowa State team that beat an LSU team. I'll be candid. I had LSU. Terrible showing for them. I know the coaching change and all that. I don't love Iowa State. I never love Iowa State. It's a Wisconsin team that struggled a little bit with Colgate. Again, it's hard to love them. However, in this game, again, we hammered the Big Ten coming in. We have to give them credit. I like Wisconsin minus the 3 over an Iowa State team that always underperforms in these kind of situations.
I have no feel for this game. The over-under is 124.5, which is disgusting. I mean, it's going to be
it's one of those games. Yeah.
It's going to be an awful game to watch. I mean, I'd probably lean Wisconsin, but I don't think they're any good. And, obviously fighting make McDonald's get through, but I don't know. It's
what time's that game? That game will tip off at 6:10. That's a good time to eat dinner. Yeah, it's not a good watchable. It's not a good game to watch. That's a good time. Stop, eat your dinner, go back.
I was going to be
back to the action.
Time.
Yeah. All right. So now we come to Notre Dame, a team I had one of my wins. Notre Dame. I liked them against Alabama. Alabama was not playing well at all. They had a good start to the season, then they just continued to drop. I liked Notre Dame. I liked that they got past Rutgers in a double overtime in the play-in. Then they go beat Alabama. Now against a very, very impressive Texas Tech team, a Texas Tech team that defensively is outstanding. They're athletic. They're minus 7.5. Do you take a Notre Dame team that's right now, hey, they're playing well. They got something going? Is 7.5 too many?
No, I don't think so. I think this Texas Tech team is very good. And I think 7.5 is probably about right. I'll take Texas Tech here.
Yeah, I agree. Neri, luck of the Irish, does it run out here?
Yeah, I think 7.5 is pretty accurate where this one should be.
All right. Back to the East, the Texas Longhorns against Purdue. Purdue had their way with Yale, very easy win. Purdue's a funny team. So is Texas. Texas, good defensive team. It's a 3.5-point favorite. Purdue's a 3.5-point favorite. This is a hard game. It's a game I'd stay away from. Hard to figure either. Look, I thought Virginia Tech had a great shot to beat Texas going in. Texas did what they had to do. They did a good job. Purdue again handled Yale easily as they should have. This Purdue team's pretty talented. They don't play defense, but I don't know that Texas can exploit that because Texas offensively is not great. So as a one, I'm going to stay away from. It's 3.5 Purdue.
This is a tough game for me. I think Ivy scores a little bit more. I just don't know who's going to score for Texas. I mean, their leading scorers, averaging 12.5 points a game. I just don't know. That's not enough to beat Purdue here. I think this line is a little low. Obviously Texas is 22-11 in a pretty good league, but I just think the line's a little low here. Purdue's 28-7 here, and they've been pretty good. I'll take Ivy and Purdue here, minus 3.5. If it stays at minus 3.5, I mean that's basically one basket. I think if Purdue wins here, they win pretty handily.
You could always buy that 0.5 point too if you're concerned.
Use the slider.
Yes. I don't know that slide. Anyway, Texas Christian University, Jamie Dixon's team, an easy win. I was a little surprised. I'm not surprised they won. I was surprised how easy it was over Seton Hall. So the Horned Frogs against Arizona team. Arizona just kind of
Seton Hall scored 42 points.
What's that?
Seton Hall scored 42 points.
Yeah. Arizona 9.5-point favorite in this one.
Terrible.
It's a team that I have winning the national championship. I know both you and I put some money on future bets for them, so I'm definitely rooting for them. Arizona 9.5. TCU again. I don't love them, although they hammered Seton Hall. 9.5 still might be too many. I don't know. I'm going to go Arizona in this one. They're just so talented, inside, outside. Now, we're still waiting for the point guard to come back. We don't know if he will. So I think either way.
Good against the spread, by the way. They're 19-11 against the spread.
Yeah, and so, Dixon,
a lot of that has to do with
his teams are well coached.
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact, though, that they're playing in that big, in that league, and they're just.
Yeah. I'm going to take Arizona.
big. Yeah, I'm going to take Arizona here. I just think that they're more talented. Arizona scores 85 points a game. I mean, that's a big number.
Yeah.
So, TCU limits teams, but I don't know. They're not. I don't see them limiting Arizona here.
All right, so that is the rundown of this weekend's games, today's games, tomorrow's games. We'll be back at it on Tuesday. So through this, any teams that stood out to you, any teams that surprised you that have moved on, any teams that you think, I don't know how they moved on, they're one and done. Sean, anything stand out?
Look, Mexico State, I loved. That was a big upset play for me, and I just didn't think UConn was that good. It's been hard to figure this stuff out. I think same thing with Notre Dame. I think everyone kind of picked, the Rutgers Notre Dame winner to beat Alabama. I think that was pretty even game. I mean, you look at the East bracket, except for Kentucky, it's basically chalk. The South or the Midwest bracket is chaos a little bit. I think there's an opportunity here for some teams. A team like I had USC, and Miami just about beat them. I mean, it's a dead even, it's an even game. I mean, that's what everyone thought. Now I think
I miss that? I think we missed that game actually. My bad. Miami Auburn. I don't know how I missed it, but Miami Auburn. Yes, Miami did a nice job. They've been playing well. Auburn is -7. I was very impressed with the way Auburn played. Auburn, not a team that I thought, I don't know, going into the tournament, but they were really impressive. So -7. Let's talk about that game. My bad, I missed it. -7 Auburn.
I think as Isaiah Wong and Miami, I think this team has a chance to beat Auburn.
Larrañaga, we know they're well coached with Larrañaga. Bruce Pearl does a good job with Auburn.
I think I was very impressed by Auburn. Though, to be honest, I didn't think they were going to play very. I don't think they play well.
They hammered Jacksonville State. Is 7 points too many?
Yes, I think Miami. I think this is a chance for Miami to maybe win outright. I think this Auburn team. I mean, look, they're number one for a while. Well, they're not. They're not Gonzaga. They're not Arizona. They're not Kansas. I think this game is going to be close. I think you take Miami -7 or +7.5.
Yeah, I'm going to stay away from the game. I was impressed with both teams, so I'm going to stay away from the game. Auburn can be one of those teams that can just blow you out, but Miami's playing well. I'm going to stay away from it. Neri?
Yeah, watching Miami take down USC really inspiring, but I don't see them getting past Auburn.
So, your best bet, Sean? Your best bet of the day? Do you have a best bet today? Do you have a best bet tomorrow?
I'm gonna say for today. Well, I love North Carolina money line. North Carolina +5.5, but that's you got to take that with a grain of salt. Obviously, I think Tennessee would be my best bet today. And then and maybe UCLA. I like that as well. But Gonzaga.
Today I'm going to go Tennessee. Although the line scares me a little bit because I think it's too low. But I'm going to go Tennessee -6.5 today, and I'm going to go against another Big Ten team tomorrow. I love Villanova -5. After seeing that performance by Ohio State yesterday, I just don't see them staying with Villanova. I'll give the 5.
I think tomorrow would be Duke
minus the 7.
-7, -6.5, whatever it is there. Yeah. I don't see Michigan State hanging with them.
All right. Well, we appreciate you listening and watching us live here. You YouTubers, remember, hit that subscribe button, the like button, notification bell. We appreciate that. Subscribe. I got to get this right. There you go. Subscribe. We got a new gig going here. We got to get used to the.
We're live.
We're live. So
we're live.
Subscribe. Go to howtobet.com. Various sports books, promotions from various sports books around the nation. Always great promotions. You see one scrolling right now on the bottom of our screen. Points bet promo. First bets risk-free up to $2,000. Earn up to $100 in free bets. Don't miss out on that. They're giving you free money. Free money is free money. So we appreciate you coming on. We'll be back at it Tuesday for one of our tape shows. We'll run it all down for you. For the genius, for Neri Rodriguez, I'm Daryl Fine. We'll see you next week on How to Bet. Go to howtobet.com.
Let's go Tar Heels.